Hello, everybody. This is Gerald Celente, and it's Tuesday, August 15th, 2023. And your new Trends Journal, it's Tuesday, Trends Journal Day. And here's your cover. Ukraine war, big deal. Wars in Africa, who cares? They only got like 1.48 billion people, almost 1.5 billion people in Africa. Ukraine has a little over 36 million. But all we do is hear about Ukraine. People don't know anything about what's going on in Africa and how the United States and Europe are now getting more and more involved in what's going on there because they want to steal more stuff. Got to steal more stuff. Oh, we'll call it colonization. You don't have to be careful, by the way. They blacklisted a dear friend of mine. And I'm concerned about saying his last name, but his first name's Scott, and they got rid of him. All right, you got it? They're speaking about peace. And this is a guy, an ex-Marine, head of the UN's weapons, one of the top guys in the weapons inspectors of the UN, nuclear weapons. Spoke with him down at the Humanity for Peace rally a week ago Sunday, and blacklisted. Oh, I got to be careful. I can't say blacklisted. I sound racist. Gender listed. Moronic listed. So I'm saying to myself, I got to be careful here because they're going to knock me out. And they're going to knock me out, and that's why we need all the support we can get from you. I mean, tell people to subscribe to this channel. It doesn't cost anything. And we're giving you information, trends, forecasts, and trends analysis that you're not getting anywhere else. So just hit that subscribe buttons there and keep this thing going because I'm very concerned about it. So going back to what's going on in Africa, what's going on in Ethiopia, the Tigrays and on and on. Oh, what's a Tigray? Well, that's a tea that you make that's not with gray tea. I mean, it's about how stupid the people are. What's going on in Niger, what's going on in Mali. You have no idea. Sudan. But Ukraine's all it counts. So we'll start with going on to the economy. Today, the markets took a hit. We've been warning about this for how long? So the markets are down over 360 points today. Financial stocks, including JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, and Bank of America, slid after Fitch warned it may be forced to downgrade a credit rating of dozens of banks. It comes as the latest challenges to the sector following Moody's decision last week to downgrade the rating of 10 banks while putting other institutions on the watch list. Isn't that nice, proper language? Isn't that nice how they speak? What, are you fucking kidding or what? We've been saying this for how long? The banking bust is coming with the commercial real estate bust. We've been warning about this for how long? The office building bust. And now, of course, in your Trends Journal, you have a great article by the great Gregory Mannarino, Commercial Real Estate Time Bomb. Yep. We've been saying this now for how long? We go to traderschoice.net, and he's telling you what we've been saying. This thing is totally out of control. Oh, but Jamie Dimon, the guy that's the head of JP Morgan Chase, that's been convicted of 5 felonies. Yeah, that JP Morgan Chase. Remember, go back to when the Silicon Valley Bank and First Republic, and they were all going down. He said, it's over. Again, all your facts are in the Trends Journal. Their quotes in ours. This thing's going down big. It's going down big. So subscribe to the Trends Journal. You know what it is? It's the grand total of $2.86 a week. A shitty cup of coffee. Yeah. And we're giving you, and nobody in the world is giving you. Nobody gives you in-depth geopolitical, socioeconomic, high-tech, technocracy, on and on, trends analysis and trend forecasts. We cover the world. And talking about the world, and one of my great concerns is North Korea says nuclear war is imminent. And I believe that, and we've been writing about that. When all else fails, they take you to war. The global economy is failing. And China is on the way out, man. I was saying, again, trend forecasters, you call things the way they are, not the way you want them to be or what you see, and then it changes, and you got to change your forecast. I had said the 21st century would be the Chinese century. That's before they launched the COVID war on Chinese Lunar New Year, the year of the rat in 2020. And what I'm saying, no one is saying. They launched it to stop the protests that were going on in Hong Kong in 2019. And I used to be on Hong Kong TV. And they used to tell me, Mr. Celente, we're not going to stop. The Chinese could not stop them. This is a city of 7.5 million people. Over 1 million people were taking to the streets in Hong Kong in protest. They couldn't stop them. But they launched the COVID war. Remember, they showed the pictures of people walking down the street. And they're building all of these quick facilities to take care of the people. Yeah. They destroyed the Chinese with their COVID war, and all the arrogant clowns that followed have destroyed the lives and livelihoods of billions of people across the planet. And as I said, when all else fails, they take you to war. And the United States economy is in crash mode. What brought down the system back in 2008? The panic of 2008, the domain name that I took out in 2007, yeah, that one. The banking system collapsed. The Federal Reserve dumped in $29 trillion between 2007 and 2010 to pump up the banksters. That's right. This thing's going down big. It's going down hard. The commercial real estate sector, you're looking at some $20 trillion in debt that has to be paid. And these are floating loans. They got to renew their debt, and interest rates are way up. So they have to pay more as they have less tenants and less income coming in. You're going to see defaults, and you're going to see the banking system go down. I maintain my forecast that late September into October, that's when you're going to see the big decline. And also in the summer, anything could happen because you got very light trading now. It's summertime. And now we're going into the last 2 weeks of August. This is really vacation time. People don't have a clue of what's going on. You look at the mainstream media, all they're talking about is Trump, 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 Trump. Nothing else about the facts. So going back to the facts. In your Trends Journal, our economic update. We're giving you the overview of what's going on, what's next, and what you might want to do. And we give you give you the market overviews. And now they're talking about, investors are talking about recession coming. And again, the Fitch downgrades, not only are the new ones today but of the United States credit rating, and then Moody's downgrading the banks. And you're seeing the bank stocks falling. Startups ain't starting up anymore. They're withering. What's going to bring them back and what's going on? By the way, if you look at the front page of today's Wall Street Journal, you know what they're talking about? The financial gang, the venture capitalists, the hedge funds, buying up commercial real estate near the bottom. And you know what I say?
Bullshit.
Yep. Because they were also spending more money on commercial and office building real estate in 2021 when we said this thing's going down. They're gambling away and don't have a clue of the future. What else do we have? U.S. inflation. Again, U.S. bank losses, almost $19 trillion in bad loans already. Major source of commercial real estate loans dries up. And then trends on the global economic front. Again, what's going on around the world? And WeWork, of course, doesn't work anymore. Oh, business travel. Remember we said it's not going to come back? It hasn't. It's about 60% in Europe, what it used to be, 60 to 70%. And that's where they make the most amount of money in the airlines. But it's not only the airlines that are going down, all the business travelers that used to go to hotels and all the restaurants and on and on and on and on. So this is all connected. It's globalnomic. All things are connected. As Chief Seattle said, all things are connected like the blood which unites us all. Ukraine war trend update. Yep, another 24 billion going to Ukraine. That brings us up to about 150 billion. Yeah, as Maui rots, right? No money for them. That's what Ron Paul was saying. I agree with him 100%. And the whole country's going down to shit. We're sending all this money overseas. But, of course, I got to be careful saying what I'm saying because I might get blacklisted. And what else? Biden asked for $3.3 billion for U.S. riding infrastructure on the latest gamble over here. And then we have special guest articles by Dr. Joseph Mercola, featured articles by Nisha and John Whitehead, Indoctrination, Intimidation, Intolerance, What Passes for Education Today, and an article that's going to get a lot of people upset, and we're going to get blowback on it, but I agree with everything he's saying. Phil Giraldi, former top CIA guy. This is the Phil Giraldi that went into Bush's office, little Georgie Bush with a pair of cojones smaller than a bath ball. Yeah, that guy. And said, Mr. President, here's the proof. There are no weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. And Bush told him to leave the office. And Phil Giraldi, being the real man he is, quit the CIA. His article in there. You got to read this one. What's happening in Syria? Yeah, what's happening in Syria and what are we doing there? We're controlling about over 20% of the country and where all their oil is. Like I said, you think we would have invaded Libya and Iraq if their major export was broccoli? What the hell are we doing over there? We're invaded a foreign country. So again, subscribe to the Trends Journal. We're giving you everything that we can. And the politicians are destroying everything that we can. And that's why we have this T-shirt. Hey, politicians. Who the fuck are you to tell us what to do? And you got the back of the shirt. And they come in all sizes, shapes. Anything that you want, you can get it. Go to trendsjournal.com, hit the shop thing, and get it and wear it. When I went to the rally in New York City a week ago Sunday, it was great to see people wearing those shirts. And then, of course, technocracy. We got the technocracy king, Joe Duran. No one's come close to him. This is his book you could get on Amazon, be human. This thing is going down big. It's going down fast, and people are losing it big time. And other articles by Ben Davis, High-Tech Science. You got to read this one about cheap proton flow batteries may be as good as lithium. This is the Ben Davis that knows about this stuff and's been at it for decades. Yeah. And we're giving you high-tech science. We're giving you technocracy. We're giving you trends in geopolitics, trends in economics, and of course, another follow-up in the presidential reality show, and a whole special section each week in trends in AI. And again, that's one of our top trends for 2023. AI, we own you. Yep. So, there you got it. Trends in cryptos, trends I view. America, we're number one in corruption. Yep. Joe Rogan agrees with Celente, warns of government push to digital currency. And again, trends in high-tech science, on and on and on and on. So look, you know, we're very concerned that we'll be censored next. So it's up to you. And if we don't unite for peace, we're going to die in war. This thing is out of control. Again, when all else fails, they take you to war. We're writing about what's going on in Israel as well. And again, you read Phil Giraldi's article, and you see how bad this thing is getting. And you read the Trends Journal, and you see the Middle East meltdown. What's going on over there? So this thing is very serious. And if the people don't unite for peace, we're going to die in war. So consider donating to Occupy Peace. The future's in your hands. Don't drop it. United we stand, divided we die. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, Celente and the Judge, Judge Andrew Napolitano, a man of men who knows the Constitution and the Bill of Rights like nobody else. And he has a very disturbing article about our loss of freedom in the First Amendment. We'll be talking about a lot about that tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in, and see you soon.
The Trends Journal, the best investment you could make, because it's the best investment into your mind, and it can change how you look at the world.
His work is actually a gold mine. Anybody interested in politics, political trends, economic trends, social trends, cultural trends, you have to follow him. Gerald Celente.
The Trends Journal is one of the greatest sources of information, and and it really is. You're predicting these things well ahead of time. I would encourage everyone to go grab the latest copy.
Been a Trends Journal subscriber for 20 years. I just have to commend you. What you guys have put together in your latest Trends Journal, there's nothing like this out there.
Sir, everything that you predicted about the economy, you were absolutely right. So I have followed you all this time. So please take a look at the Trends Journal.
You correctly forecast that the Fed would hike rates quite aggressively, correctly said that initially gold and silver would drop as the Fed starts to raise rate to 1.5% and above. When we spoke last, Bitcoin was around 49,000. You said you expect to drop, and if it drops below 30, 35, then it could really drop.
Trends Journal, which I would encourage people to go and check out. It's actually a 200-page document, pure data-driven analysis.
Gerald Celente, the top trends forecaster in the world. Gerald, you had an interesting call back in September of last year. You said gold had bottomed, which is exactly what happened. And here we are, and we're above $1,900.
Subscribe to the Trends Journal. Read history before it happened at trendsjournal.com.